Hi, everybody. So I was starting to do some portfolio updates nearly every week or every other day as I was building my portfolio again in March. However, I stopped doing it because of other commitments and because the market wasn't very good and I wasn't really trading. I wasn't buying any stocks. Now that I've been trading stocks and buying up from the beginning of April now well into May, I decided to restart making these videos about my portfolio and updating you guys. And there's a quick update today in terms of how my performance has been year to date. And also, I'm going to be covering what trades I've taken, why I've taken them, and what I'm looking at moving forward in the S&P, Nasdaq, and the overall market to look for new opportunities, but also lock in profits because I'm in profit right now and I'm outperforming the markets. Let's see my performance since January. We had a 3% gain in January, 2.2% gain in Feb, and then we've had a 5% loss in March. There was that rapid dump around the mid Feb, a typical seasonality dump, but also because of other macroeconomic factors such as the tariffs and so on. So we've had a tough time going into the new year since the beginning of Jan, and then in April, I managed to close in profit and start building my portfolio. I made a few mistakes. I'm going to explain them a little bit later, just because I want to show you guys that although I'm outperforming the markets, you can make mistakes and it's okay. It's not the end of the world, and you can build your portfolio again and be able to outperform as I am right now in May with 17% gains in May. And overall, I'm sitting at around 22% gains here for the year to date. And as you can see here, there was a brief period in March where I was around 0.17% down, and then we gain again. So I haven't really gone into any drawdown or massive drawdown in my account. I think the maximum drawdown I saw was around 4%. As you can see here with the Nasdaq and the S&P, there's around an 8% drawdown here, or drop from January to March. They're sitting at around 1.8% gains. I'm sitting around 22% gains. I'm hoping by the end of this medium term trend or swing in the market, I can lock in around 20 to 30%. We obviously don't want to speak too soon because I've already had moments where I've been up 15, 20% in my portfolio and then I've had to sell really quickly because of rapid sell-offs in the market. But nice growth here, and especially after the 9th of April with the overall market moving up higher. I did have a nice portfolio with some of the key leaders like Palantir, Uber, etc. Unfortunately, I sold them a bit too early because of negative news on the last quarter's GDP. I was a bit too cautious. I should have waited, and I didn't reposition myself in those stocks. I've had to rebuild my portfolio again in late April, and then now we're kind of growing day by day, depending on which stock is moving up. And there's obviously going to be a bit of a dip at some point in the near future. So I'm hoping there's some continuation there in the momentum of the market. Maybe we'll go back to all-time highs around 6,000, and then I can look at selling around that period. But overall, really good. I'm hoping this year we can get around 30 to 50% just because it's been a really bad year. And I'm kind of projecting a negative second half. It could be positive. I won't be making decisions on projections or forecasts. I will be making decisions day by day as stocks present themselves to me. Now I want to go into my portfolio so we can cover some of the key stocks I'm holding in my portfolio. One of my main ones is Robinhood. I bought this around the 23rd of April. Um, as you can see here, this is one of my indicators that I've coded myself with my strategy. Nice, buys and sells here, as you can see. But I entered around this 44 level. So there's a nice bounce here off the key EMA that I use to dictate the trend. There's a nice little bounce here and a breakout off the support area here, and then that's what I took. And then a slight dip, and then a continuation moving up higher right here. Okay, so that was one of the trades I've taken. I'm around 35% profit in this one, and then we have AMD. So with AMD, we've had some positive news coming in from earnings, and I traded just before earnings. I usually don't do this, but I traded just before earnings. I bought around this 100 level right here, just before my confirmation signal came in, just around here. And we're currently sitting at around, we're looking at around 17% profit on this one with a nice risk reward. Again, all of these are going to be really good, tight risk rewards here. As you can see right there. So I'm kind of, I should be on around 1 to 3. So if I'm risking 1% here, I've made around 3%. And I typically risk around 1% just because I'm quite conservative and I don't want to see any drawdown in my account. As you saw there with my performance, the drawdown was almost non-existent because of this reason, because I risk around 1% and I look for higher risk reward trades. I could have taken this bottom trade here as well on this bounce, but I really liked this kind of continuation breakout here, and then we're kind of seeing a nice profit. Spotify isn't doing that great for me. I bought it a bit late. I didn't buy it around here where the buy signal came in. I bought it around this second confirmation signal here. So not as tight. This one's more of a, will this go to all-time highs? And we're looking at where the forecast is around 650. I'm not too sure about this one. It's more of a speculative play. This is probably one I might have to sell soon, but I'm liking, all these bounces that are coming in right here and here, and then I'm kind of looking for momentum to pierce through here and then follow through. That's what I'm waiting for on this trade. Tesla proved to be a really good buy here. The initial trend that I traded around the beginning of April wasn't. I didn't trade Tesla. I don't really know why. It just wasn't in my radar. It wasn't on my radar, and then I could have traded around this area easily. So around here, and we would have been around a 1 to 2. I waited for this. I ended up seeing it around here, and I waited for this bounce off the 10 off the 10 EMA on my indicator. And then, by the way, guys, this is my own indicator. I've coded this myself. It's basically my strategy, and it's available to anybody that's a member of my Discord. But here you go. A nice risk reward ratio here. It would have been a 1 to 2 coming down from the bottom because I needed to factor in the volatility on the stop loss. Tight stop loss, breakout, momentum coming in straight away. And I'm sitting around a 1 to 3 risk reward here, 20% gain. Very, very nice. And then I had a basket of quantum computing stocks I bought around um, early May. So around the 8th of May, we saw a nice pump in the markets, and I bought a basket of quantum computing stocks. And as you can see here, there was a nice consolidation happening. 1, 2, 3, a nice price tightening here. And I traded, I think, around the 25 level here on the bang on the buy signal on my strategy. Okay. Again, like I said, you guys can get this if you're part of my Telegram or Discord group. You can contact me to join one of those, and you can inquire how to get this signal and strategy basically on your charts. But nice tightening here, and we saw that across the board with quantum plays. A nice accumulation here as well for extended period from March onwards. So very, very nicely based. And then what I really like about it now is we're seeing some support here, and hopefully again we see this piercing through to maybe around this area. That would be kind of like a nice move for me, where I would get a decent return here of 1 to 5. Rigetti was another one that I bought on the quantum. This one's followed through a lot more kind of mini dips into the key support areas. So dip and then buy, dip and then buy, dip and then buy, moving up higher. And we've had basically momentum following through heavily on this basically, and a very, very nice take out of this area. And then I'm hoping around here is where we can achieve a decent target. I bought it first of all here around the 22nd of April, and then I rebought it around the 8th. So there's another play here that I took. There you go. So I'm looking for here 1 to 3, 1 to 4. Not too bad. The whole industry is doing pretty well. So the other one I bought was QUBT. So here you can see a basically a buy signal on my strategy, and then I ended up buying here actually quite early into it, so buying into the momentum rather than waiting for the full day. And straight away we kind of saw a little bit of a dip and then a bounce. Now we're sitting at around 40% gain, 1 to 3 on this one, just because I needed to give it a bit of space. And then we can go probably 1 to 6, 1 to 7 here. But very, very nice basing as well. And I really liked the breakout. Turned into support. So the trend line turned into resistance. Was resistance turning into support here. And then slight dip. Initial breakout. And then a second dip. And then another breakout. And then a follow through for a few days. Okay. So yeah, very, very good here. Looking very, very, very strong. I think we can do really well. Okay, coin was another one. Slight kind of multiple plays I could have taken here. There could have been this initial move here after that initial pump. We didn't. Some of my community members took this one. We were discussing it. I didn't trade it. I ended up trading here, the continuation, and we ended up buying. So this was the buy, the initial buy. You could have stayed into this trade, and if you bought here with my indicator, you could have got a really, really nice swing here for 1 to 6. I ended up having to buy around this area. And there was a support around 190. I'm sitting around. I ended up selling actually yesterday into this candle, and then I've bought again around the 145 level with a stop loss here. So I kind of took 2 trades here, locked in the profits, taking another trade in to go into these higher levels if crypto moves higher. And it looks like it might not. It's kind of shaky right now, but this level is what I'm looking for as a target for another 1 to 10. It's looking really, really good here for that continuation move higher. This is what I've done with coin. Soundhound, I don't think it's moved that much, but there was this kind of buy area here. I waited for the dip. And as you can see, the indicator is fantastic because it's like gives you a nice swing. If you just use the indicator, you did this trade here, 290%, and then if you shorted, you would have got 59. So it's kind of like the indicator does most of the work for you by giving you the guidance, and then it can kind of trade within that overall trend. That's why I recommend anybody that's watching this video to go and join my Telegram group. It's complete for free. You're going to get some ideas there. But if you want to get the indicator, you have to join the paid Discord group. Okay, so we had a buy signal here, a reconfirmation of a breakout, of the structure. And then this is what I've traded so far. Again, very, very nice tight stop loss there for those really high risk rewards here. So I'm kind of sitting on 1 to 2. We could be getting a 1 to 7 on this one. So this portfolio could really, really grow if we get some more follow through in the markets and we go to all-time highs and we get some follow through on these smaller growth stocks like Soundhound and so on. Energy stock that I traded was NNE. This has been very slow for me. I traded around here. We had an original stop loss here. It's doing okay. It's kind of one of those slow movers. It could just really quickly pop off one time, and we could kind of make a 1 to 3. I don't mind some of these kind of build up or build on top of the big winners or the best ideas I have, which are some of the top trades here on this list. SMCI on the semiconductor play. The idea here is semiconductors have been lagging a little bit, and I wanted to trade a few of these kind of pumpy semiconductor stocks. AMD is not a pumpy one; it's kind of a slow mover. It's a bit of a lagger. SMCI is one of those that will move quite a lot, and as you can see here, as soon as we got that breakout on this candle, and this was my entry, mid candle. On momentum, on breakout, we're kind of sitting now at 27% and 1 to 2.3 risk reward. My idea here is we can go back to this area for 1 to 5. We'll see. It depends on how the market plays out. Then we have Big Bear AI. This was the kind of confirmation zone that we're going to get a bullish sentiment in on the swing. And then we have a breakout here, which I took as a trade around this area. And we're kind of like around very small. I think I took it a little bit high actually around here. So we're kind of around break even. We're not really doing much right now on Big Bear. Givo was a big winner for me last year, so I thought I'd take this one, especially after this huge consolidation. And I took 2 trades. I took this one here from 56 cents all the way up to $3, and then I've took this one here from $1.5 to $3, and then I'm looking now at potential consolidation, and there's an inverted head and shoulders here happening. So you guys can see, look, what's that? inverted head and shoulders, and then we have the buy signal coming in. And there you go. So we kind of have a huge opportunity here for upside because it's been oversold. And it hasn't really kicked off yet. Just waiting patiently. We're in a bit of a profit, slight loss here. It's not too bad for me. I don't mind it, considering I'm in profit in the other ones. And then really quickly covering some of the other ones here is our Rocket Labs. So we have buy signal here. I didn't enter there. There's a bit of, let me just draw out what I was looking at. I entered around here on this breakout. So on this breakout candle here. Main reason again is just this tight stop loss. I could have entered here as well on 23rd. I wasn't on my radar. If it was, I probably would have entered. It was around this area and stop loss here. So we're kind of sitting in. I don't want to 1.7 with the idea of this going back to all-time highs 1 to 5. Most of these are looking like 1 to 5s, 1 to 6 if the market can follow through. Final ones. There's RR. This is Rich Tech Robotics. Proven to be a bit of a tricky one for me, this one, because it kind of gives a signal to buy. It works with my strategy as a buy, but then it kind of just drops off, and I tend to kind of just sell really quickly. I don't really want to be holding, but I took a trade around $2.15.16 right here. So not in huge profit, in slight profit here. I'm hoping we get that huge pump back to these areas, which will be around, let's say, $3. If we can get $3.25 as the average analyst is projecting, forecasting here, 48%. Let's see, yeah, let's say 48%, or 50% gain. It's a 1 to 5 again. And then final one, most recent trade I've taken is Reddit. I haven't really been looking at the earnings or anything like that, but I saw the earnings were good. Quite liked it. Buy signal was in. I kind of wanted, I would have liked to have bought it around here, but I ended up buying around this area, and I'm sitting on a bit of a loss on this one, and hoping again for this area to be hit for 1 to 4. Right, so that's a general or a breakdown of my portfolio right now, as to why I'm sitting on around 22% gains, while the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq is at around 1.8 and I think 1% gains for the year for the S&P and 1.8 for the Nasdaq. I hope it's been informative. If you guys are looking to join a community where you can trade with other swing traders, have a Discord group, the only way that you can get into that Discord group is if you contact me on Telegram. I have a Telegram group for free, and I have a Discord group which is paid. You'd be able to access this indicator, giving you quite good signals. So you can see here, very, very nice swing trade signals, clear swings. Right, very profitable. I mean, if we can grab RKLB, just doing a bit of promo of my my indicator here. There you go. Let's say you just took the longs. There you go. And then we would be around break even here right now because it's a tricky moment, but I would have entered, a lot more. This is Reddit actually. I would have entered a little bit earlier here on these breakouts, but yeah. So yeah, very, very good opportunity here to join a community of members that are professional swing traders, and the Telegram is for free. Go and join that as well. If you guys have any questions, any comments, feel free to comment below. I will try and answer everything. I'm trying to build now my YouTube channel, so please subscribe if you enjoyed this content. I will be providing other formats where I do show my ideas and other tricks and tips I will have for you guys as swing traders if you're looking to be swing traders. Take care. See you next time.